Hello, everyone. I'm Charlie, and welcome back to my DraftKings DFS slate preview. Before I talk about this Friday slate we have going on, I just want to take a second just to talk about Boxing Day from this Thursday slate. Not only just talk about I did super well, I want to talk about not just to toot my horn, but I want to talk about a couple of things just regarding contest selection, cash construction, just because it was really nice to kind of finally really see the benefits of just a good process. God, I'm sounding like such a so full of myself, but I wasn't the intention, I swear. But I just want to talk about first just the cash construction I went here. Just because I think it's a good kind of lesson on kind of how to play Premier League DraftKings DFS cash, which is set piece takers. I played Bowen, Christie, all these guys I talked about on the Boxing Day video. Palmer, Christie, Bowen I liked, Gordon I liked, of course. Trippier was kind of the surprise inclusion today. I ended up playing him just because I wasn't 100% sure what Newcastle would do for set pieces. And I could just afford him because of Mateus Fernandez value, who was in a better spot because there was no Manning. And of course, Christie, who I loved from the start. And then just how much goalkeeper is just so random. Like I like there's no reason not to go down to whoever you can afford 90% of the time. Which for me was Leno. I got all the other guys I wanted. There was not a ton of good defenders to go with anyway. So I was fine just going up to Trippier, landed on Leno. That was fine. Fulham, biggest dogs on the slate, went there and won. Suddenly you've got 17 points for 3,700. It just shows goalkeeper. It's just so variance based. Like any goalkeeper can really come out on top here. And I was happy just to get lucky with Leno. And if you're just prioritizing the players that will kind of do well for sure anyway, like and then just go with whatever goalkeeper they land you on. Like I want Bowen, I want Gordon, I want Palmer, I want Christie. Leno's just who I landed on. I'm fine with that, and like you should always be fine with whatever goalkeeper you end up with. I see some of my other GBP constructions. I liked Ishak a lot there, just because of the upside. Once again, talked about that as well on the Boxing Day video. And then the other thing I want to talk about was just contest selection. These were the two kind of big GPPs that weren't the Boxing Day one. So yeah, I did super well in these. And then let me show you how I did on like the actual flagship Boxing Day contest. Barely profited. I look at the comparison between these two. And that just shows how much contest selection matters here. Sure, you can see the big 20K to first and think, oh, I really want a piece of that. But the reality is, like one person out of 14,000 people are winning that 20K. Compare that to like NFL and NBA Millie Makers. The difference there, like it's literally a lottery. And to like build really a decent bankroll, you're not going to win, or you might win consistently, but it'll take a longer time to win one of those than it is just to play smaller field things. And when you're playing them, I max on anything I play just because I'm at that point now, but that wasn't always the case. I started just maxing step overs. Those $1 contests. 20 of those teams are so much better than you could have played about $4 or $5 teams in this. You're not going to win 20K from a step over, but like you give yourself a real chance of solid, consistent profit if you just continue to like do 20 step over teams every slate rather than trying to go for the Hail Mary big contest. Like when I was starting, I didn't even play cash like I kind of go around these videos for. I just did small entry GPP and that's how I grew the bankroll over time. So like just really try to play a contest that makes sense for your bankroll. If you have like say $1,000, what I play is I do those like this is not a good example because that's a big entry fee I played, but you have contests like sweepers and anything like most of those like $5, 5, 7 entry things, especially in like those smaller league non-prem contests. A lot of them times to get like that $15 entry fee, 7 entry, 1K to first for like Serie A and Bundesliga sometimes. And when you're doing those, that was like a perfect thing when I was in like the 1K bankroll-ish. I'd max that That'd be like 10% of my bankroll. That's a good amount to risk. And I give myself the best chance of winning because I'm maxing that contest. But if you're not that, say you're like at the $100 bankroll. Yeah, like I said, those step overs, perfect. Other things you can do, quarter jukeboxes, even if you're even starting a lower bankroll than that, completely fine. Like just play within your means because there's plenty of contests to go around. You don't have to shoot for the moon every time. Like I didn't get here from playing these contests, from playing the contests I entered today. I started small, and that's what it has to be a lot of the time. Okay, now for the actual slate preview we have for Friday. Two gamer, only like 45 minutes of both lineups, so keep that in mind. Like pre-building, I pre-built like all of these 150 yesterday before lineups were even out. Like pre-building, of course, always an option, and then you of course can late swap because you only got that 45-minute window of both lineups. But the games are Brighton home to Brentford and Arsenal home to Ipswich. Arsenal huge favorites. Brighton slight minus odds against Brentford. In terms of projected lineups and set piece takers for Brighton, in this lineup, it should be an Estupinian and Ayari split. There is a chance that Matt O'Reilly plays, and he'd be the left-footed option over Estupinian. Garuda, who was the surprise inclusion last Brighton game, also had priority over Estu. But if neither of those guys are in, it should be Estu and Ayari. And if Ayari doesn't start for whatever reason, like if we get, I think Weafer's healthy. If Weafer starts here, say for Ayari, it should be potentially even an Estupiñán monopoly. And then for Brentford, it is Mbuemo and Damsgaard. They are pretty simple. Arsenal and Ipswich, it should be Declan Rice and Odegaard. And then for Ipswich, it should be Leif Davis and Smodics. If Jack Clark is in, it becomes a little bit more messy. I feel like Clark would end up having priority over Smodics, but that's not a certain thing. Yeah, pretty simple, just those two games. In terms of prices, there's a couple of guys I really want to get to. First, let's talk to the top options, though. Pedro, 9,600. He's okay. Saka is out, so that kind of makes it a little bit more open. At least at the top, like Pedro's okay, Martinelli, Trossard. You can really make an argument for any of those guys. Minte, Havertz is 6K, 6,600. I mean, seems super cheap to me. Ruder's not bad at 5,900. I don't really like any of the Ipswich guys unless you're really just flyer GPP plays. But then you got like Gabriel Jesus, 4,900. This is just insane misprice. He was the same price last game, and he has not been priced up at all after getting 2 goals with a 10 times better matchup. I don't get it at all. Like you're going Jesus in cash 1,000%. I might even have him in like 90% of my GPP builds because he just should not be that cheap at all. Like he's literally the same price as Lewis Potter, who plays left back. Like it doesn't make any sense. Midfielders, Mbuemo, 10,200. He's interesting just because he's got a lot of upside to him. Just that price is not ideal, but without Saka, you can definitely get there. And then Odegaard, 9,400. This is the safer cash play. He'll end up picking up the slack for Saka's set pieces. Doesn't have quite the same ceiling, but he's typically a safe 90 minutes. Typically, like we got a lot of rotation and early subs because of how congested these festive fixtures they call them are. But even then, I love Odegaard here. I'd play him over Mbuemo in cash probably, but they're both decent plays for sure. Wisa, who for some reason is never a forward, GPP play. Mitoma, not bad GPP play. O'Reilly's all right, even in cash potentially. If we get no Ayari, would mean a monopoly for him. Damsgaard 6,300, I really like. Declan Rice at 5,700. This is a very good cash play as well. Splitting set pieces, was rested against Crystal Palace, or didn't start at least. Goal and assist too, so it's super solid there. And at like this 5K range, I think like there's really a lot of opportunity just to jam Arsenal here because of the prices of your Jesus, of your Rice, of your Kai Havertz. And I don't think that's a bad road to go down at all. But then you've also got alternatives like Damsgaard, like O'Reilly. So it's a pretty wide open slate here. There's Ayari himself, 5K. I think that's fine. I like Rice better for cash purposes. You can even go both. I don't mind. Simonis, I think, could be a decent GPP play. For cash, I just don't really think you need to go there because there's just quite a few pretty solid mid-range options. And then for defender, Estupinian will be super popular, even if he sees like a lineup without set pieces. He didn't have set pieces last game against West Ham. He'll put up solid numbers. Like I'm fine with getting to him just because there's not a ton of really nice defender options. Like there is Leaf Davis, but just Arsenal away is just a tough matchup. Like everyone's just gonna go Estupinian and cash, I imagine, and I probably will be the same. I hope we just get like a set piece lineup for him, so he makes a little bit more sense there, and make me feel a lot better about him, especially in like GPP. But like I said, even with a negative set lineup for him with like O'Reilly or Gruda, I still think you just go him just because of the lack of other defender options. Like there is Calafiori, just mad. Like these Arsenal guys they don't have a ton of floor. You're playing them almost for how effective they are off of set pieces. Like all these guys are tall. They all go up for corner kicks. It's like your Timber, Gabrielle even. Like there's no floor there, but you're paying for upside. Like the best floor in terms of defenders by far is a Stupinian, set pieces or not. Like other punt defenders I'm like looking at, not a ton, frankly. Like a Dunk or a Nico Collins. One of these CB punts is fine, just to hopefully just score off a set piece, of course. But not a ton of floor here for sure. Like in general, across like all the defenders. Goalkeepers, like I just said earlier, complete crapshoot. Flight whoever fits. If you land on Raya, nice. If you land all the way down on Mirich, that's fine. Like it might not, they might have negative, either one of them. But that's just goalkeeper variance, and you just hope you get on the right end of the luck. And like there's just not a ton of skill involved in picking goalkeepers. It's just simple as that. They're just impossible to really project. In terms of a core, I think you just go with Stupinian just because why not? There's just not a ton of defender options. Give me Jesus. And then I think you just go Odegaard. I know 9,400 feels kind of steep, but with no Saka, you just do a job there. And that'll be it, guys. I wish you luck and hope you have a good time over these holidays. Peace.